Hello and welcome to this weekend edition of the Daily Dose of Greek. And today I'd like to talk about a few different volumes coming out from Hendrickson. I'm really impressed with the language stuff that Hendrickson is doing. Their academic editor there, their senior editor is Jonathan Klein. If I'm not mistaken, he's the grandson of Meredith Klein, and he just is really producing some great stuff to help people learn Greek and Hebrew and stay in it. I've also had some good interactions with their marketing person, Amy Paulson Reed, and they've just been very accommodating. And it's just clear they want to serve and help people through their books. I'm just really impressed with them. And several books they produced recently are book by book guides to vocabulary. So they have the book by book guide to the Septuagint. And it starts off with common vocabulary in the Septuagint by frequency. And then it goes through different sections of the Septuagint in these sort of bite-sized, frequency of this much in this book, frequency of this much. It's just a great way if you're working through um, building your competency in reading the Septuagint to have bite-sized pieces of new vocabulary strategically to learn the vocabulary. Same thing, they have a book-by-book guide to New Testament Greek. So it starts with common vocabulary for the whole Greek New Testament, and then it has these little lists by frequency in the different books of the New Testament. And there's something similar for the Hebrew Bible. I don't have a copy of it right here. I think it's advertised in the back of here, but it's a book by book guide to biblical Hebrew vocabulary. So it goes through the Hebrew Bible with by section and frequency. And so there are three of those book by book guides: the Septuagint, the Hebrew Bible, and the New Testament. And also, I want to mention they have these delightful, Hendrickson has these delightful keep up your biblical Greek and keep up your biblical Hebrew in 2 minutes a day. And it just has one verse a day where you learn or you review one new vocabulary word and you review two older vocabulary words. And it's broken up in such a clear way that even the rustiest student can pick their way through that. And they have this again for both Greek and Hebrew. I think they also have one for Aramaic. And one reason I'm mentioning these is if you come to our conference at the end of July, July the 30th through the 31st, to the first 175 people who show up on campus and register, we will give you a bag that has lots of resources, including the book by book guide to the Greek New Testament, the book by book vocabulary guide to the Hebrew Old Testament, the book by book guide to the Septuagint, volume 2 of Keep Up Your Biblical Greek, and volume 2 of Keep Up Your Biblical Hebrew. I mean, that's like $140 worth of books that you get, and the conference only costs $75. So it's just a great deal. I hope to see you at the end of July. If not, and you don't get these free, maybe there's one that I mentioned or two that you're like, that's something I'd like to just order and have here in Iowa with me. I can't go to the conference, but that's something I've been looking for, and I'm going to order that.